Let's zoom too soon. Okay, I'll zoom like that. Whoa. Stop it. Don't let me get further than that. I was hoping to get further than that. I could even put it like sorry, there's growing pains here because this is the first time I'm really doing this. I got a link to people. How do I find my stream? Two-step verification. No. Here we are. Let me find it. Let me go to the stream. Let me get there. I don't know if I have any chat messages. Yeah, get share the link, yes. That's what I want. I'm gonna do this every time. There it is. Okay. Okay, so have the stream up. Is it frozen? No, it's not. I'm just not moving. That is such an unflattering. Is what it is. But I think I want it further away. I want to sort of have. Even further. The thing is, the microphone isn't going to be able to pick up too well, is it? I kind of like this, but I almost want to have a view where like you can see that I have the computer. So like if I look at the computer, it like makes sense. But I don't know how to sound, so let me check. It's not very loud. I mean, this is, more growing pains. That's why you would want a microphone. For now, I think it's more, the audio is honestly like the most important thing. If it's not loud, no one is going to care. Yeah, thanks, Gamer. I see that it's working, though it's not, I know it's not like, it's not optimal. Can I use this anymore? No. Forget it. Okay. I think this is probably as good as we're gonna get. Let me check again. Yeah. Okay. This is probably what we're gonna have for this stream. Unfortunately, we can't see any of my Zatch Bell stuff, which is over this way. But I have my computer, so I can read the chat. I can look at the chapter. So that's where we're ready to go. I have several. I have like several drinks here. I don't even know how do I turn. You can see I have a Coke. I have a water bottle. Okay, so this is the first Zatch Bell 2 discussion live stream. Happy to say. I decided to start doing these as streams because it was the way I was making my videos. You guys probably are. I mean, I'm not a big YouTuber. Which member are you, Doodles? Or which member of the server are you, new person? So the reason I started doing these as live streams is because I will remember to look at the camera more. Is because the way I was doing these videos before was so much like a live stream. And the key thing about me on YouTube, and I know it sounds silly, is that I don't really want to expend much effort in doing it. I like doing it as a hobby. I like it as a casual thing. And the thing that's most important to me isn't so much like making a creative video or a product, so much as it is just getting my thoughts out there. That's like the key thing I just want to do. I think, like anyone, I have unique thoughts and opinions that deserve to be seen by the masses. Yeah, welcome, Doodles. Good to see you. And so it was actually like taking the time and editing a video with titles and graphics and trying to like set up a channel was never something I really wanted to do so much. And so the videos were so bare bones, and often they didn't even have scripts. I would make a few notes. Only a couple of my videos really are fully written. So at that point, they're so close to live streams anyway that I just figured, why not do a live stream? So I bought this little tripod, and right now we have an okay angle. You can at least see that I have a computer, so you know what I'm looking at if I turn down. But let's get into the actual topic of the video, the stream, which is Chapter 2 of Zatch Bell 2, which was recently scanned by our friends at the Zatch Bell Mackay server, the admin of whom is in this chat right now. And I hope some more people come. I have linked this to a couple people. Let me link it in one more chat. Okay. Let me actually link the chapter to this chat too, because I have not linked it to them. Okay. Hope we get a couple more people in there. If it's just you two, one person, whatever. Like I said, my videos before were a little like this anyway, so it doesn't matter much to me. I will find things to talk about. And I'm going into this like almost completely just raw, you might say. It's kind of a weird way of putting it, but just like completely, without a paddle a little bit, no planning really, because the moment I finished the chapter, my friend called me who had not read the chapter yet, so we didn't talk about it. And then I did this. So we're very, the thoughts have not been so formulated yet. I'm going to be looking through the chapter. I might actually be reading the Discord. I have not read what people have been saying on the Discord here. So I guess people were talking about it as it was happening. I'm seeing right here. Same as last time, as the chapter is coming out. So there's quite a lot to catch up on. Let's see here. So I'm trying to figure out when the scan started coming out. It's a 4chan thread, of course. Someone understands me on Facebook. Okay, my other friend read it. Well, okay, I guess we should start talking. So, great first page. I'm not really planning to do like a read through, but I guess that's kind of what I'm doing because I'm using the chapter to like try to find stuff to spring off of. But I'm just saying it is a very good first page. So it seems like when he's fighting Wade here, Kyo is pretty clearly using the answer talker. I don't think that is really in question or really a surprise to a lot of people. He could just be using his intelligence, though. I don't remember if every time he used answer talker in the original manga he had the answer talker eyes, but he doesn't have them here. We finally get some good. Oh yeah. I mean, I wish I could buy the chapters. I would love to support, Zatch Bell 2 and Raikou. Yeah, I read a little bit about how you like eventually got the raws from somebody. Yeah, so I mean, I'm glad you did. We finally get some good expressions from Gil here. I know some people were waiting for expressions. I'm sure we're gonna get a lot more of them as the chapter goes on. I like how Gil's thoughts are like their normal thoughts. Like he's like surprised, like oh my god, he's dodging it, and like, but he doesn't look surprised, which I think is funny. And there's some good fighting. Oh, here's something weird. Now this is the kind of content you can't get anywhere else. This is the situation unique to me. So this is just now your mileage may vary on this whether you find this interesting. I found this very odd, weird coincidence. So Kyo takes a hit from Wake. And later Gil is sort of analyzing Kyo and says, "Oh, Kyo didn't actually fully get hit. He sort of tanked the hit in a way where he leaned back, and so he didn't get his damage because he was already sort of imitating the force of the hit." So at work today, I sometimes get time to read. Lately, I've been getting time to read, and I was reading today. And in the book I was reading, a dude did that exact thing today. I was reading that today. Someone hit him in the back of the head with like a billy club. And it said he went down just before it hit. But it did, hit. But because he went down, the force is mitigated. And Kyo does that exact thing. And I don't recall ever reading another work of fiction where a guy did this. So that was a weird coincidence. I found it really funny. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of like, Kyo love in this chapter. He's really dodging these hits. I mean, especially the first time he dodges, just super cool. He's like almost like a fashionable pose. He's just killing it in this fight, doing what he can, using his intelligence as expected. And in terms of like expectations, let's just say like the chapter pretty much went as I expected. I think I said in my last video, as I've been saying a little on Discord, I expected this chapter to pretty much cover the entire Kyo Wade quote-unquote fight, ending with Kyo's escape. Pretty much what happened, Yeah, that must be other. Well, it maybe not these days because that book was published in like the early '60s or something. So way back then. A funny thing about that book too is let me check exactly when that book was published. Actually, I don't want to diverge too much here. Oh, I was wrong. The novel was first serialized. So it was published as a book in 1951. It was first serialized in 1939. It's a very early sci-fi series called Lensman, which has actually had an anime, weirdly enough. So this book from 1939, I just came upon a trope that is seen everywhere still today, which is the scientist man was explaining things, and the admiral goes, "Would you speak in English when you're speaking to me, please?" And it's like, geez, you haven't never heard that before. So 1939, About 80 years. We're still hearing that today in fiction. Speak English, will you? Anyway. We got some classes, just Raikou fighting, a lot of swishing, a lot of motion lines. But it's good. I like seeing it a lot. It's just you really feel Wade's, how his power just comes from his strength right now. He's a very simple enemy. He's a basher. Um, but you feel the hits when he hits Kyo, when he hits the ground. And so the first thing I guess I want to discuss, the first sort of inkling of an interesting thing that's in the chapter, is we learn some really mysterious stuff about what Wig is. And it's very hard to like analyze or like put into any kind of theory. He says he doesn't know what he is. He says you can call him Wig, and that the name was given to him by his card. Now, we don't entirely know, like, I really appreciate Ray's, or Zatch Gamer to you and your co-translator's efforts. But just a fact of the matter is that, like, we don't know, like, what 100% like the translation of this stuff would be. And that's more of a disclaimer. But they look like cards of a sort. They're plates. They're like almost like name tags. Yeah, golem. That sort of thing does kind of make sense. But it's interesting. We see like a very technological place, almost very old school. It looks like kind of on the walls. It reminds you of like an old computer with all the racks of things and connections. And this guy, it looks like he puts this plate on it, sticks it on, and that beeps, and it somehow signifies Wig. I don't know how it does. I don't know what it does. But the name was given to him by his card, and I guess that's the card. I guess the card probably reads Wig in their weird new language that we've never seen before. We see Mysterious Figure putting this card down, so probably our first look at a big villain. I'm looking at it right now. I think it's a hood that this guy's wearing. I don't think it's hair, but then it does seem to sort of come down, maybe with two sort of like braids a little bit in the back, but it's so dark that you can't really tell. He has some bracelets on his wrists, and he has a bunch of these supposed nameplates, along with a lot of little circular buttons on the wall. So obviously there's a lot of these invaders. But yeah, I mean the nature of Wig being a guy who has one sort of human form, one sort of more monstrous form. That's just interesting. That must have something to do with it. I almost wonder if the human form and the monstrous form are maybe fundamentally different, where maybe the card just determines what the monster form is. Or I think the card has to have something to do with that connection. That would be the one thing that like I would kind of speculate. It's hard to say anything definitive that I would say I think about this. I mean, that's what I say about nearly everything. That's just the way I speculate. But I would guess that the card and Wig saying this card gave me my name specifically has to do with maybe not exactly what he is at his base, but how that transformation works. Oh, what's going on, Zatch Gamer? You have a brain blast? Good time to take a drink. Okay. You're right about that. Yeah. Gee. Yeah, that's a really hot piece of speculation here. Let's look up Goran. This is like very Rogers base stream type stuff where someone in chat will like bring up a cool theory, and he'll be like, "Oh, let me like look at for something in the manga that like was about this." Let's take a look at Goran. I can't bring him up on the screen right now. But yeah, I mean, obviously the one eye and the mask and just the general sort of hulkingness, even along with the coloring. Their bodies are both fairly brightly colored. I don't know what that would mean, you know, because Goran is a Momoto, but maybe not, right? I mean, he had such a weird ability, and like we've seen weird abilities in the Momoto battles before, but this could be maybe a bit of a retcon. I think you guys are both coming up with a really great theory right now. Really interesting. Yeah, they could be retconning Goran as being related to these invaders. Right. I said the coloring was similar. Their body coloring is similar too. It's both. It's sort of. They're both. Their bodies are both color like bright, sort of brightish colors. Right. They're both anomalies. Yeah. Really interesting. Good stuff. So he hits kill for real. We get our classic sort of. I mean, it's classic Shonen, also classic Zatch Bell. You know, takes a licking, keeps on ticking, which is the slogan of something. I don't know what that's a slogan of. Some brand or another. But that's what Kyo does. We get a good splash page, full page. Him with his arms out. Being cool. And then we get Gil explaining what the battle is, which is kind of funny that like Wake doesn't know about it. But I mean, it happens so rarely. I guess that if you know, not only you know if you're foreign to the Moto world, but like it wouldn't be too important. Like you know, say you get to the Moto world, you immediately neutralize the spell books, probably about what happened. Gil mentions the books sort of like they're not a factor, which it seems like they're not. Though we still don't know the relationship between the books and the Moto's ability to use spells. I guess it sort of seems like the books disappeared and the spells disappeared, so they seem to be related, but then also, do the Momoto have books before they enter the battle? I don't really remember. I mean, they don't, right? Once again, maybe more things will be revealed. That could be interesting, Doodles, yeah, about Goran being artificial. So, you know, Goran could have been an experiment, could have been a demon that was, or a Momoto that was experimented on. And Wake could be like a more pure, you know, that is very much something different than a Momoto. But yeah, I think it's very important that the books, I feel like they're sort of referred to as like, they're not an issue. It's the books, you know, that's something the books were involved in. So I think the books are gone. And how that happened, who knows? Yeah, no, they know about the books. They didn't know about the battle, and I think that, like I said, I don't think they had a reason to really think about it too much because I have a feeling that the books were neutralized, maybe not destroyed, but depowered in some way soon after the invasion, however that happened, started. We get a lot of good little silhouettes of Momoto and partners, specifically with Kafka, Sunbeam right in the middle. But we have Fulgore doing some sort of pose. We're here. Why not? Let's just name everyone we can see here. Top row we have Fulgore. From right to left, Zatch, then Kyo, then Tia, I believe. Second row we have Brago. You can just see his fur. Then we have Sherry, then Zeno, then Dufort, then Ponygon, then Kafka, or Kaf. Then actually Kalulu and Lori, I believe. Could be wrong about that, but I think the top one has got to be Tia because she's like doing that. It looks like she's doing that, just like a big Tia thing. So I think Kalulu and Lori are in the second row. Good for them. And of course you have Momon and L. Then I want to say that that's Wanrei next to L. And then third row, of course, we have Victory and Mohawk Ace. We have Ted and Jed actually got in, or Jito, if you want to say. We have, of course, Pirio and Lupa. Pirio is also doing some kind of pose. We have Patty and Uri. We have Bianco and Alvin, and then we have someone on the left here. Oh, that's Laila on the left, right? Right, Doodles? You would know. You, if anyone, would know. I think he's got the horn. That's everybody. So a lot of the most well-known characters. See silhouette, which is nice, you know. Not as cool as it's going to be to see them for real, but it's nice. We get to see Zatch in silhouette, and even though I think this is Zatch as we knew him in the original series, it's still him. So it's going to be really, really big when we see Zatch for real. Whether it's as he used to be when he was younger, or as he is now, probably older. So Kyo says, I was Zatch's partner. Gil and Wade, of course, are laughing at this. They say, hey, he's dead. And I just want to point out, I think like the creepiest part of Wade's design to me is not the hair. It's not the hair that goes right into the brain. It's the weird thing on his like neck. There's these metal plates that are just there, and they're like these muscles, these bulging muscles that are set around them. Really bizarre. I think that's the weirdest thing about it to me. So right after Wake says, King's dead, he left all his people, abandoned them to die. Now we know Kyo's not going to go for this, as he does not. But then we get a big surprise 2-page spread of the Moto world. Let me like look at this really in depth here. I thought this was so cool and so surprising. The Moto world looks a lot like a Dark Souls world or level. But it's so cool to see it because we know what the Moto world looks like, and the same place, but a lot of it's been destroyed, and there's a massive gaping hole in the main structure. And there's a lot of damage elsewhere. Not much damage lower. The higher you get, the more damage there is. You can also see, I believe some of this has, correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like a lot of this may have actually been rendered in 3D somehow. Let me know what you think if you zoom in on this. I feel like maybe not the very top building, but maybe some of that as well. I feel like might be a little like, I don't know what program you use for that. What do people use for 3D? I don't know, I'm not familiar with that, with the artist side of things, but a lot of it really looks like it's the kind of shading it has. It looks like sort of a textureless kind of 3D model when you zoom in. So let me know what you think there. Yeah. I mean, yeah, obviously this is the sort of thing you would, I think, the finer details at least you would use assistance for. I'm sure Raikou did plan out the general, view of what the page looks like, what the spread looks like. So we see the very top here of the King's Castle, right? Top building is totally ruined, and we have the King's Chamber, and it's destroyed, and the King's crown is broken as well. It's like made of stone, I guess. That's all we see. So we're not going to see any Zatch yet. So, and I didn't want to be doing like a whole read through, but it's just a good way to structure what to talk about. So for now, that's what we'll do. So Kyo says, "There's no way Zatch would do that." Great Kyo face. It looks a lot like the old Kyo, I mean, it always does, but here especially. And then we get Wade using the Zakirga spell, which is cool. That we got another spell this chapter. So it's nice to see another 2-page spread. Kyo is really, doubting, no, it can't be that, it can't be that. He gets hit by the spell, and Zeli wants to save him, but the Egyptian girl drives her away. And she mentions that she's been in a lot of bad situations, which is interesting. We don't know if that was before she met Kyo or after. But she does say, Professor Kiyomaru, were you not able to make it out alive this time? So that would imply a couple things. Both that they have been in sticky situations before, Kyo and this girl. That she is looking up to Kyo as a professor. Which, was sort of obvious. That was what I guessed their relationship was. But, it was obviously Kyo as a professor just from, his clothing and, the clues of him being in Egypt. That he was at the very least studying to be a professor, my guess was that he was maybe a graduate student. But I think he's still young. I think he's just a young professor. And I think this lady is sort of his assistant. Just what I said last time. So then we get this thing of Wade gets hit with a rock and it breaks his neck, but then he heals. So these creatures, they're very goopy. Wade takes the case out. He opens himself up with a squish and takes the case out with the spells in it. And then he gets hit by this rock and he just cracks his head back up. So I think he does have bones, but he's made of different stuff. It's kind of stuff that can transform and heal. So, it makes sense that he's hard to kill. But they'll get him. I'm still pretty certain that he's not making it through his next fight. They're gonna find a way to get him. Gil making more faces. It's on my phone. Oh, my phone's at 5%. Oopsie. Let me see if I can connect it up. Hold on. Well, it's still on the tripod here. There we go. How long has it been since we started? Oh, about a half an hour, I guess. We're getting some good stuff. Anyway, we get confirmation that that panel we saw of the kid with Gil in the background was just Gil eavesdropping. It wasn't some weird thing of Gil's possessing this guy or whatever. Gil eavesdropped. He told Wig, "Hey, follow this kid," or Wig, and that's what happened. People are investigating. Wow, what happened to this building? What the hell? Who are these two? They don't seem to care. And Gil keeps insulting Wig. I wonder if that's going to amount to anything, if Wade will get pissed at him, if Wade doesn't care. I find it interesting that, Wade wants to destroy Yamamoto, Gil's Yamamoto, Gil's helping him. I mentioned this last time. Gil does seem to not like him. So, I don't know. And then we get a reveal that I kind of didn't expect, and it did surprise me a little bit. I thought it was really fun. Was that Mickey saved Kyo. Maybe the little dog Momoto from last time. We didn't really know what happened to him. He's dragging Kyo, who can't seem to move very well. Oh, you think they could be invisible? So you think that Wig is visible in his monster form, but maybe not his regular human form? The Gil would be visible, wouldn't he? Yeah, Vegeta not. But yeah, that seems that seems accurate. Certainly, the size difference makes sense. But Kyo can't move, but he can still talk, and No, he reassures Mippy that wherever the king is, he did not abandon. He wouldn't abandon them. He hasn't abandoned them. Mippy seems reassured by that. Kyo maybe seems not so reassured. We see a tear going down his face, and he says, "I'll do everything I can to save you too." Mippy goes, "Arf, arf," and then the chapter ends. So thanks to Zatch Bell Gamer and the 2 anonymouses for providing those scans. Yeah, that's what I would believe, is that like people don't really give a shit about people that look kind of weird. Only if people look really weird, that's when they start caring. So I still think it's a very strong chapter. It's not too much to discuss, but it's and the month wait is going to be hard to get more, but it's still a good chapter. It's just exciting. It's got good art, and we get some real good nuggets. Both weird hint about what Wade actually is, that great look at the Mamoto world and the destroyed state, and not much else, but we get to see Wade use a Kerriga, and then we get some good Kyo stuff. Kyo's back in it. We're following him by all accounts now for a while. I would guess, going by how we see him act in this chapter, that as some people speculated last time, there hasn't been like a previous connection between the human world and the Mamoto world, at least that Kyo is aware of. That he hasn't been like, working on this or whatever. I was even wondering if maybe could he be in Egypt studying something having to do with Mamoto. Maybe. Let's go through the Discord a little bit. Okay, so that's something interesting, that Yorugi, a member of our server, who I don't believe likes to be talked about very much, was speculating that maybe the beast in Egypt was not Wig. That was, something to think about. But no, it is Wig. So, let's see what else happens here. So, I mean, another thing that I also said was, I did not think that there would be so much depression in this chapter, and that was true. It was still generally a triumphant chapter. Kyo is emotional about what might happen to Zatch, but still believes in Zatch, wherever he is. Rio. Let's see. Okay, so this is an interesting one from you, Doodles. Do Wade and Gil actually believe what they're saying? Do they fully even know what happened? That's a good question. Did they witness what happened to Zatch? Did they witness him supposedly abandoning the people? I kind of doubt it. I think they heard about it. I think they may have been nearby, or at least Wade would have been nearby. I don't think they were fully there. I don't think they saw. So let's say Zatch is dead. Maybe he died, but he didn't, abandon anyone before that. They didn't see that. They didn't see that happen, because that would not happen. That part's a lie, as we know. Kyo believes it. We believe it. So we know that part's a lie. So let's see. Alright, someone show a picture of Vega. Oh, because fire spell in the case. Okay, right. Yeah, I'd like to see some of those other spells, but I want to see more new spells too. Even something like Ganzuko Fire is nice to see. Okay, so yeah, now I'm caught up on the ZB2 chat. Let's see the spoiler chat. Cherish is the word. Someone's like, Zatch is confirmed dead. Like, not really. No, Zatch is not dead, guys. Well, if he is dead, he's come back. Hey, denial just isn't just a river in Egypt, you know? Haha, they're in Egypt. No, he's not dead. Right. You're right. You're right about that. This probably is the same bottle. Right. So all you need is the element, and I wonder, Rashield and Zakeraga are both pretty low level spells. So, you might need to still have kind of heart power or some sort of ability, drop my mouse, to use low level, high level spells. But I wonder, if if Wade had enough energy or whatever, could he use, Geo Renzu, whatever, Ekusuresu Zakeraga, really high level spell? Maybe. All right. Not too much in the spoil anything chat. It gets back to arguments about stuff about the original series. They were winding down here, I will say. I don't know what is going to signify the end of the stream. I don't know if it's going to be like, if there's a certain amount of time where I'm silent or something. I love to talk theories and speculate more, but I don't, some chapters just aren't too heavy with that, and that's fine. High power blade, yeah. So talking about the future, let's talk about that again. My predictions haven't changed at all because, not to brag exactly, but maybe to brag a little, that this chapter was what I thought it was going to be. So I am thinking next time we are going to see, I don't know if we're going to cut straight to Hyo and Zelly and Mippy and Olmo and the Egyptian girl together in a safe place. But we're going to get there next chapter. And then the exposition is finally going to start in earnest. But we're not going to see what happened to Zatch. I think we're going to see Zelly's story, specifically. Her and Olmo and Mippy and Ziggy also, right? We're going to see that in Ted and Cherish and Rain. So we'll probably get our first good looks at, Momoto post timeskip. See if how much older they look. Maybe they haven't aged. Do some weird time thing. So I think we're going to start that. Might be a short flashback. Might be at the end of the chapter. Might start early in the chapter, and the whole chapter will contain that flashback. But I think that we're gonna see Wade and Gil again. I think, just the fact that we've seen them now, we've seen them in a scene separate from any other character. I think shows that we can now we'll get more of that. We'll be able to follow them when they're not with any character. So they're going to be looking again. And yeah, no, these two chapters, you're right, Zephyr Gamer, these two chapters kind of comprise the intro to the series. There's no definitive ending point, but we're off. We're off to the races now. You know, like we're going. Things are already moving along. Kyo's trying to figure out what these guys are. We've gotten in a fight with them. We've secured the package of Zelly. She's being transferred to a safe location. So things are moving. We're gonna keep moving. And you know, I think that combat. It's a little sad that like there has to be a sort of quote unquote combat based chapter so early. But it is the way it is. And we're gonna get, I think, a lot of exposition up until the next fight, which I think is going to be a much cooler fight than this one. Where they're gonna either find a way to defeat Wade, or maybe there will even be, maybe they'll just fight Gil. I don't know. Wade might even, they might even decide to go back to the Momoto world to do something, to make a report. Do I think we're gonna see any returning characters other than Ted and Cherish and Rain next chapter? Probably not. But seeing them will be good, I think. You never know. There could be some other characters at the orphanage. But I do think we're going to see that bit, because I think we're going to see, how they know about the transporter to the human world. How they get there? Is it close by? There are things that I think Raiku's going to want to address, along with just showing us how supposedly Ted and Cherish and Rain died. By which, I think we will get. It's going to be a good way to, Wade is going to attack, right? Ted and Cherish and Rain are not going to be able to use spells, probably. And Wade is so, not only is Wade going to have a chance to, and Raikou through Wade going to have a chance to explain why Momoto can't use spells, which I believe they can. Not normally, I mean. But we're also going to see Cherish bequeath her own spell element onto Ziggy. So we're going to get a little information on this new battle system, newish, and how these spell elements work. But we're not going to see exactly maybe like what caused that change. We might hear it described, for instance, about the books being neutralized or destroyed. But I don't think we're going to see it. But I think I would count on hearing Wade say things are different now. Possible that Cherish already knows, that they've already figured it out. Maybe it was a process that started before Wade actually arrived. And they need to create these spell elements, which is what I call them. They're going to get an official name, I'm sure. That's something I would count on seeing next chapter. So that's my prediction. Next chapter, all the good guys in a safe place, flashback to the orphanage and Wade's attack, and present day Wade and Gil update. We'll see if I'm right next month. And I think we're going to end it there. I thought it was a pretty good stream. I wish we had more people chatting, but just the way it is. I'm glad you two guys were here. We found one really cool theory about Goran. That was something really good that you guys came up with. So that was exciting. And if we can get something like that every stream, then I would say this is, there's a reason to do these. I think next time we're going to have a lot more to talk about. Favorite moment of the chapter? Let's see. Let's do that. Let's end with that, right? What was your guys' favorite moment? Mine was the 2-page spread. That really surprised me. It was really cool. Very atmospheric. Just, more driving it home that Zatch might be dead. But I still like how generally hopeful the chapter still is. Kyo's a cool guy. We love him. Runner-up. Probably Kyo being cool. Spreading his hand out saying, let's chat. That was probably. I don't know. What do you think? What was your favorite moment? Would you say? See if anyone else has done any chapter reactions on YouTube. Let's do a little search. Zatch Bell. Oh, there's a podcast reviewed Zatch Bell. I'll have to watch that. Zatch Bell 2 interview. Oh, someone made a video about the Q&A from the special book. I'll check that out. Putting a lot on my watch later now about Zatch Bell. Okay, let me find the page you're talking about. Let's see. Yeah, you're saying when Kyo says it's as though it's staring a completely unknown entity in the face. That's not the page you're talking about? Yeah, we do have another live reaction from Nerdigans Inc. I watched their reaction to the last chapter, I believe. So, well, mine isn't a reaction. So when I say another reaction, it's like, oh, no, I didn't really react. I mean, it's a reaction in general, but it's not a reaction in the YouTube sense of like a live reaction. But there is another one out there if you want to check it out. And once again, you know, your scan, Zatch Bell Gamer, this is your scan that's allowing people to see this chapter. So that's great. See that shadowy figure. A lot of questions about them. Could be a Momoto. We don't know. Could be a spirit body from Vector Ball. All right, we're gonna leave it there. I think we've exhausted just about everything we can talk about. Thanks for stopping by, guys. I'd love to have more people back for the next one. Maybe do it at a different time. You know, if you think maybe it would be better if I did it on the day after release, which might not always be a day I have off. So it's Dr. M too. Yeah, that wouldn't be too bad. Though he's supposed to be a good guy now. Oh, you know, this would be like the canon Dr. M too, right? I remember when I thought Dr. M2 was alternate universe future Kyo because of something that someone said on Discord before I saw the movie. That wasn't right. Okay. So yeah, we'll see if I can get some more people in, whether by training with stream time. You know, more people would have time to read the chapter, especially people that I actually know who might stop by. So that'd be good. But for now, I'd say this was a fun stream. I'd love to get a better angle. I'd love to get a microphone. We'll see how that works out. But that's that. So I will see you next time for another Zatch Bell 2 chapter discussion for chapter 3, probably on the 13th of next month, right? 14th Japan time. Probably at night, maybe daytime on the 14th when I actually do the stream, but the chapter will probably come out the 13th. Not to put any pressure on you to scan it, Zatch Bell Gamer. But we'll wait until then. Unless there's any big Zatch Bell news I have to make a video about, which you never know. There's a lot happening. There is Pipeland doing this Saturday coming, which I haven't looked at those, the official like items yet. I'll have to go look at those right now. And some new dub music dropping on Friday. So it just keeps coming. It's a big hair here. Here's my tripod. I don't know if that's my hair even. And that is it for today. So yeah, I will see you guys next month. And of course, I mean, I'll see you two on the Discord, basically, you know, I mean, like a few minutes or something. But for now, everyone, if you're here now, if you're watching this later after the fact, we've almost gone an hour. That's pretty rad. All right. Have a good night. Bye.